films later, here we are.
And actually, it's interesting because with that as well, that was supposed to have originally star Chris Walken, Bad Lieutenant. It was originally set
Right,
to go with
right,
Chris,
right.
and then he changed his mind, and then
Well, yeah, look, that movie. If you, the original script was 30 pages long, and the movie is so bleak. I mean, it's really an exercise in despondency. You know, the it. One of the best things about it is that it really, it shows you the isolation of the addict alcoholic. It's you don't. It's a yeah. You can't live with the drugs, and you can't live without them. And how uh, addiction will strip your soul. Uh, yeah, it's a Harvey's amazing in it. It's I never, to be honest, I never thought anybody could pull it off as well as he did. But it's a testimony to this is was it Siskel? I think it was, I forget if it
Siskel
was.
and Ebert, yeah, Siskel
Yeah,
and Ebert, yeah, they
they
said that he
love
should have won the Academy
it.
Award.
They actually wrote letters to Academy members they knew to vote for Harvey. But dealing with the whole NC-17 format was, we didn't realize how difficult it is, because you can't advertise in the movie section. You can't do this. You can't do that. There's a whole bunch of provisos, rules, because they didn't want to. They were still. They had this puritanical version of it. Now it's the first movie that was NC-17 was Henry and June, and that was a stinker. I'm a Fred Ward fan, but and a Henry Miller fan, but that movie was a mess, and just didn't do it. And I think that Fred Ward was incredibly miscast. But it was an interesting. This was much more interesting than going to the Marvel universe and seeing what Wolfman is doing today. So yeah, it
And
is
then of
what it
course
is.
you collaborate on Dangerous Game, and then you did
Dangerous Game was another. Yeah, this was going to be. After I didn't do Body Snatchers. He called me up on Christmas Day. He said, "You're not doing Christmas Day. Ruined my fucking Christmas. You're not going to do it." Boyan was going to do it. So look, Boyan's a talented photographer, and hey, he he had a lot of money, and they were afraid to trust it to a guy who had just shot, a $2 million film. From that whole thing was a mercy fuck on my part. I mean, my salary was pathetic. I basically gave away my lighting and grip. My guys were working for dirt. We were shooting. The teamsters were a drunken mess. Sometimes I had to end up, after shooting 12 hours. I load my own trucks because they were too drunk to put my lights on the fucking truck. So yeah, and then I would drive home, and I would they pack the truck. I drive my truck home and go to work the next day. It was it was an exercise. It was an interesting exercise. It was certainly, if I tell when I teach, I tell my students, my job doesn't exist anymore. You're not going to make a living doing what I did. It's just impossible. I mean, the '90s were really the halcyon days of independent film in New York, and the voice said, Village Voice was very kind to me a lot of times, and basically called me the quote the image of independent filmmaking in Manhattan, which was very complimentary. But the fact is that there wasn't too many DPs that were going to load their own truck after working a 12-hour day for dirt money on Bad Lieutenant. But I felt it was a great privilege, in a way, to participate in Keitel's phenomenal acting
tour de force.
extravaganza. It was a tour de force, without a doubt. You know, I don't think that performance will ever be duplicated. And then certainly you could never get another actor to do that job the way he did it.
Couldn't be replicated. You couldn't replicate it. It's impossible.
No. It's just if for some reason he really
tapped into it.
He got it. He got it. It was